favorite subject?
Poetry.
Really? Well, maybe you can help me straighten out my Longfellow.
Excuse me, has anyone seen Thornton Melon?
That's what I call marine biology.
Anyway, Rodney went back to school, and the co-eds thought that they found a sugar daddy. Now students at colleges everywhere are looking for the real thing. Thousands of them are clicking on a site that matches up rich, older, larger guys with larger girls looking for rich, older, larger guys. The site calls this a mutually beneficial arrangement. What does that mean? And it also has sugar mommies for guys looking for, I guess, some sugar. College costs a fortune. Books ain't cheap. Folks need financial help. None of this is a surprise. Relation expert Dr. Wendy Walsh and Jedediah Bila on how this is indeed a sign of the times and not a good one. Jedediah, you first. This is sad.
It is very sad, and I think this is part of our entitlement culture. It's what can you do for me? I don't want to be responsible for these costs. I don't want to have to deal with all of the debt for years to come for investing in myself, essentially. So let me see how someone else can pay me for this so that I don't have to incur all of those burdens. At the end of the day, though, you don't have the personal satisfaction of being able to say, I did this myself. I worked hard. Maybe I had to take on a part-time job. I think it's a disgrace for feminism. I'm so horrified that women are doing this and don't have the self-respect to stand up for themselves and say, I can do it on my own and I don't need you. And I think it's a poor reflection on where we're headed as a society.
Wendy Walsh, is it?
Well, I think I asked myself the question, Neil, who pays for sex in a high-supply sexual economy where we're living right now, when the price of sex has gone from 3 dates to the price of a well-worded text? Well, it's guys that literally want absolutely no hassle. They tend to be emotionally avoidant, and researchers are starting to suggest that as much as 40% of our country are afraid of emotional intimacy.
Well, wait a minute, you're blaming the guys for this, that they're willing to go ahead and be abused and used and know it?
Well, what's interesting is I went on the site and cruised around a little bit, and a lot of these guys are not older. They're just in their 30s.
Yeah,
but a lot
well,
of the women are very young. They're 18. Some of these women are 18 and 19 years old, or say they're 18, and that was the disturbing piece for me.
You know what, though? I'm not willing to just blame the guys. I was an 18 or 19-year-old once, and I knew that I had to work really hard. I went to Columbia University. It was over $40,000 a year at that time. I had to work to earn a scholarship because I knew that my middle-class parents weren't going to be able to pay that tuition. So these are adults.
But faced with the bills a lot of folks are faced with now.
Right, but these are adult
the
women.
The options might be
19 and
limited.
20. 19 and 20 is an adult female. You have to be able to hold those people accountable. Just because they can stay on their parents' insurance till they're 26 now does not mean they're toddlers. They know what they're getting.
Well, this doesn't mean they're all getting sex. It just means, you know, someone got a friend.
Well, something is sweetening the pot.
Oh, please. They're all getting sex.
All right, Doctor, I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate. Will you just play along with us? I don't want to do anything that makes my sex look like the prurient pigs we are. So now we have this phenomenon where this is going on. It's more routine than we think. This site is going gangbusters. So what does that say about us in general? Doctor, you're saying very little, right?
No, I'm saying that we're becoming more emotionally avoidant, more afraid of real connections that involve, you know, the F word feelings. And I think that a lot of these young women, they certainly have a right. And let's not mince words here. This is prostitution. It's kind of a legalized form of prostitution. And they certainly have a right, just like a young man who has strong muscles has a right to work construction, and this 18-year-old girl can't do it. The question is, will they have, my concern as a psychologist is, will they have healthy relationships in their future if this is how they begin? And the answer is no, because every relationship we have trains ourselves for the kind of relationships we're going to have in the future. It is what it is. It's legalized prostitution on the internet. And these girls don't seem to be shamed at all because, you know, Neil, the double standard has completely been erased, but only in the minds of women. These girls don't get that.
What about the reverse? Are we noticing the example of the guys looking for sugar mommies?
I think that's a lot
Absolutely.
less.
That's a lot
I mean,
less.
as someone who,
It's a lot
you know,
less.
I've been a teacher, I've taught at the college level. I think this is a trend you would be much more likely, unfortunately, to see for women. And I think that
Why?
feminism.
Because you're the more conniving of the sex?
I wouldn't say that, but I think that feminism has bred dependency into women. It was intended to do the opposite, but now feminism is something that pushes women toward government dependence and puts this idea
maybe
of
this is a
entitlement
sign
into
of being
their
resourceful.
minds.
They're going past the government into some guy.
Well, it's a sign of what morality means today and what guides people's moral compasses, I'll tell you that. And it's, in my opinion, not the greatest sign.
Doctor, I think it
Yeah,
says
we agree
less
on that.
about women than it does about men. What say you?
It says a lot about men, and it says a lot about women, and that is that as sexual opportunity has risen in our culture, sexual restraint has gone down. And I think, yeah, there are cougar women who are spoiling young men. In fact, one of the reasons why young men aren't so apt to get married is because they'd rather hook up with a sugar mama. And I think all of this bodes to what's happening with our morals, but at the end of the day, it hurts healthy families and young people who want to have healthy families but have trouble having healthy relationships in a hookup culture.
Well, sad, but it is, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it hurts the personal responsibility upon which the country was founded. If you take that out of the equation, we're in trouble.
Oh, don't even get me. Personal responsibility. All right, ladies, thank you.